Hello everyone. Today I want to encourage you by going to James chapter 1 verses 2 and 3. And the title of this encouragement is this: "Oh good, a trial." Now here's the text that James writes. "Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." First, let's look at his exhortation. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds. That's quite a command. There's an assumption that he makes that we will all face trials of many kinds, and he makes that assumption because he knows there is sin in the world and that sin has an effect on us. The trials of many kinds include trials like these. Physical trials come to us. Our bodies are decaying because sin is at work in this world and even in our flesh. We face relational trials. People say things and do things that actually hurt us. Even people we love, relational trials come. We face emotional trials because we grieve over the loss of someone or something. We're disappointed. So emotionally, we face a trial. We face spiritual trials when the desires of our flesh encourage us to do things that we know God has forbidden. And we face faith trials when God does not answer or does not answer in the way that we had hoped. We face faith trials when God is silent. We face faith trials when it seems that God does not care. And these are all trials of many kinds that James tells us we need to consider pure joy when we face. Now, he not only tells us that, but he also gives us a reason why we can be purely joyous when trials of various times come. Let me give you some of them. The first thing he tells us is the testing of our faith develops perseverance. That's one of the reasons why we can be joyful when trials come. Perseverance is one of those experiences that we feel we really need, particularly in the midst of a trial. And yet in the midst of a trial, James is telling us we actually develop perseverance. The thing we think we need, we get because we're going through a trial. Like any test that we take, after the test, we realize what it is we don't know, and we realize what it is we do know. And knowing what we know, we persevere in the things that are right and good. The testing of your faith produces perseverance. A second benefit we get is, he writes, perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete. That's the second reason. We consider it pure as joy when we face various trials. The experience actually exposes areas of weakness and trouble in us, areas of spiritual immaturity. It's like going to the dentist and subjecting ourselves to the bright lights or the x-rays or that awful tooth scraping and the gum exam that comes. From the experience of the exam, we know what's wrong with our mouth, and we then know what we need to do to fix it. Spiritually speaking, trials of various kinds expose our needs. The exposure leads to strategies that allow us to be righteous in our behavior and confident in our understanding of God's grace. Simply, perseverance in various trials leads to the benefit of both spiritual maturity and being complete. The Greek word translated complete here can also be translated no unfinished part. That's the second reason we can consider it pure joy when we're in the midst of various trials. The third reason is because, spiritually speaking, we will end up not lacking anything. What does that mean? It means that his sanctifying work in us is completed. There's nothing left to work on. When it comes to the fruit of the Spirit, we are not only seeing the evidence of it in our life, but we're seeing all of the fruit all of the time in our lives. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. We develop those things because of trials. We want to lack nothing in the area of the spiritual fruit in our life. So, consider it pure joy, my brothers, James writes, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. I want to quote C.S. Lewis. I know all about the despair of overcoming chronic temptations. It's not serious, provided we don't allow the temptations to get the upper hand. No amount of falls will really undo us if we keep on picking ourselves up each time. We shall be very muddy and tattered children by the time we reach home, but the bathrooms are all ready. The towels are all put out, and the clean clothes are in the airing cupboard. The only fatal thing that we can do ever is to give up. It's when we notice the dirt that God is most present in us. It is the very sign of his presence where he shows his grace and encourages us to get cleaner. Since various trials expose us to move toward perseverance, maturity, completion, not lacking anything, then let us consider it pure joy whenever we face trials of various kinds. Amen.